Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Genevieve, Head of Platforms and Ecosystems at Climate Impact X, to discuss the concept of a carbon marketplace. Genevieve, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Hi, Jill. Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us about Climate Impact X and how the idea for a carbon marketplace came to life.
So CIX was really born out of a public-private partnership here in Singapore that was trying to take a look at how Singapore could serve some of the needs in the sustainability space. And really the work that went into this uncovered a problem with trust and transparency in the market. And we thought CIX would be the vehicle to be able to try address some of that. And it really came to life when the four shareholders behind CIX really saw a role to bring to life venues of trade that really underpinned a level of curation and quality assurance in the world that can be quite the Wild West, which is voluntary carbon markets. So bringing together essentially technology as well as good governance, we sought to bring about that level of trust, which we believe would help facilitate the sort of scaling and access required for many companies to take part in carbon credits. But the bigger question might be, why carbon credits at all? And I think we need to go back to kind of the basics around what would it take for the world to remain on a 1.5 degree pathway? And the science is out. It's not going to quite get done with just the action of reducing emissions. In fact, there will be a gap to get to what we need to in terms of our carbon budget. And so carbon credits help serve that need and fill that gap. We need to get to nearly 23 billion tons less carbon dioxide every year in 2030. Nearly 7 billion tons of that might not be reached with existing technology. So carbon credits represent a way to finance this sort of activity in a meaningful way and driving direct impact around the world. So really, CIX was born out of the need at a global level for us to be able to address the climate transition and really sought to be an enabler to help people access carbon credits.
What trends do you see shaping the global carbon markets over the next 12 months?
Over the next 12 months, the trends that we should be really paying attention to are the level of innovation that's happening. We see both by way of the types of carbon credits available in the market, as well as the types of distribution channels. I think it'll be quite an exciting time for folks to look at this. The second innovation, I think, is the financial innovation that's happening in this space, which involve essentially products that really try to tailor themselves to the needs of different actors in the market. So we'll see innovation around financialization of forwards and futures, but also in the packaging of certain structured products that will try help companies meet their needs along different parts of that journey.
How does the creation of a platform for trading carbon credits help corporates take practical climate mitigation measures?
Well, if you were a corporate today and you were trying to reach your net zero goals, what would be available to you in your suite of tools would be essentially the ability to first measure your baselines, second, set targets, third, employ both process as well as technology improvements to reduce your emissions footprint. And then there would likely be a chunk of those emissions that remain what the industry calls hard to abate, which is that there is no practical technology solution out there, or the solutions which might be practical are extremely unaffordable. And so corporates do have that ability to then use carbon credits to fill up that last chunk of hard to abate emissions. However, today, if you were trying to make those decisions, the level of due diligence, as well as the just amount of research that needs to be done to figure out what credits to buy, what claims you can make with those credits, as well as are you paying the right price? All these remain frictions that we believe a marketplace like CIX really helps try to address. So access really is boosted by knowing that you can go to a certain place where the credits have been vetted or due diligence has already been conducted, and you can transact with ease because You don't have to set up, multiple accounts across many registries, and the price is transparent. So you'll know that a project charging you $20, $30, the justification for that and why that might be fair.
And finally, Genevieve, how has Nasdaq's technology played a role in scaling CIX's global carbon credit trading platform?
So Nasdaq plays a critical role here. CIX sees multiple venues as part of our overarching strategy, and the technology that Nasdaq brings allows us to bring essentially an exchange capability to the fold. And what has happened is that Nasdaq has essentially innovated on its decades-long reputation on being able to offer stable as well as effective platforms that companies around the world can trust. And they've allowed and innovated on top of that for several features that really fit the specific needs of the carbon credit market. So Nasdaq really does allow CIX to take our game to the next level and serve a specific set of activities around standardization and financialization of the carbon credits industry.
All right, Genevieve, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.